Alisa Semenova. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Semenova.
Semenova.
Yeah, it's Slavic
I'm slaughtering it, aren't I? Well, it's great to have you on the podcast. You are absolutely remarkable. I can't even get over how talented you are, especially at such a young age. It's unbelievable. And that painting behind you is the one that I saw online that I really want to buy from you. That is what got me really interested. I don't know if I was following you or not until I saw that painting. But it's great.
Was I following you?
I don't even know. I don't remember.
I was.
I don't really
so
know.
It was very pleasant, and I do really appreciate that you have invited me and recognized my work. This is one of the last works, and I just recently finished it. And tomorrow, to be honest, I have a promo photo session with my works. That's why they are at home now with me, because usually I work in the studio still in the academy, because after I finished my education, I came back to continue as an intern, and it happened just recently, and now from the February I'm going to continue my education again.
Really? What is
the next step after 6 years of academic ordinary education.
So when did you start? How old were you when you started your education?
Well, first I entered another university because I didn't think about the academy. I was like a child, can I say, 18 years old. I only finished ordinary art school in Russia, and I didn't think about
what does that mean? What's ordinary art school? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's like the system in Russia, I guess, is quite equal among the country, because we have like two the main centers of art in Moscow and in St. Petersburg, and like two main universities, Repin Academy and Surikov Academy, Surikov Institute. And all the artists, all the teachers basically are graduated from these two centers, and then they are becoming teachers in different regions, and the tradition is like quite continuing, so the system is very, I think, equal among the country. So we have in different cities, small towns, bigger cities, basic art education, art schools, and it's about 4 years, I think, in every.
But they're all connected to the Repin? Are they like little satellite schools or something?
Well, all the teachers have the education. Maybe it's not the best ones like Repin Academy, but even if it's like some university, in university, the teachers can be the graduates from the academy in Moscow or in St. Petersburg. So like they are spreading it through.
Is it required to teach at a university that you be educated at one of those institutions?
It's one of the problems, maybe after you received like the artist professional education, you have to find a job, and it's very common. Then you are becoming a teacher after all. So some people are coming back to their hometowns, and they can be teachers in schools, art schools, universities, colleges. And I think this is how it is spreading
Okay.
through the country. So I had like this basic education of 4 years in art school.
From
And
18 to 22?
no. It's like for children, like from 11 or 12 to
Holy
16.
crap, that's amazing.
You don't have this type of yeah, and it's
No. In
all
America,
done,
no one
so you
takes
don't
art
have to pay
seriously.
for it. Yeah, and after that, I thought that I wasn't good enough to enter like any of huge universities. Maximum, you can go study for design or something like this in local universities, in region centers somewhere, doesn't matter. And so I found a way for myself to move to St. Petersburg and to study oil painting, because I don't know why I always been interested in portraits and in oil painting.
Mm-hmm.
And I found for myself the pedagogical university, like for future teachers in different disciplines, including arts. And I've been studying here for 2 years. And then when I get used to it, when I met new people who were more aware of the systems, about the academy itself, and I've heard about it a lot of pleasant words like it's the best place for artists and so on. And I was thinking at that moment that maybe what I have now, it's a bit not enough. Like I was pretty much highly praised, highly recognized by teachers. Everything was like easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, why not to try? And I tried. And for that time, I was thinking that, okay, maybe I will be the worst student in the academy, but if I will do it somehow, I will be among the best artists, because for me that time it was like, wow, it's like they are like gods or something very,
Mm-hmm.
very high. And I was thinking about being the worst of them, but being in this company, very cool for development and everything. And I was just shocked by the stages, by the models, what kind of art they do. For me, it was like they are crazy. These huge walls with paintings, all the like when the semester is over, they have critics at the academy, and they put all the paintings on the wall of all the students,
Mm-hmm.
and they make open doors. Everybody can come and watch. And I was shocked by what they are doing here. And I was thinking, but I will be in this society. This will be very, very cool and good for my development. And
Wow. So what did you find out when you got there? Were you the worst? Or were you pleasantly
yeah,
surprised?
absolutely.
You were.
Yeah. First, a few years of education, because when I entered the academy, I entered it like from the first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very common in the academy that people have to try to, what is with camera? Is it okay?
Yeah, you're fine. I just want to see more of you, less of me.
Okay. People usually try a few attempts to enter the academy, like maybe from 2 to 5 times. Some can try even more.
Mm-hmm.
But usually 2-3 times, 3 years trying to enter the academy, it's okay, because it's complicated and the competition is very high.
Is it just based on portfolio?
No, it's a complicated system.
Really? Can you
I
tell
can
us?
tell you.
Yeah, tell us just a little bit.
Well, all the exams in general take it for 4 weeks, I guess. Anyway, it was like this when I was entering the academy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost a month of exams, and
What
it's
kind of
exhausting.
exams? Written exams or
Yeah.
painting exams?
Yeah, you have to, first of all, you have to show your works, and then the teachers can let you to go further, like can you be accepted to the first step, first exam, or you're on a too low level for the academy and you shouldn't even try. You have to prepare better. Then first exam, it's like composition exam where people have prepared compositions with them. It's the best scenario to be prepared, because the thing is that they just give you 6 hours and you have to create a painting, like composition with people, maybe few figures or one figure.
Hours?
6 hours.
6 hours. Out of your imagination, you're putting this together?
Yeah, it's like from imagination, but obviously because there is no exact or strict topic, it's open. Everybody comes prepared.
Oh, so you might have reference and stuff with you.
Yeah, you can train before, and when you come to the exam, you can just repeat one of your painting.
Okay.
Yeah, and feel a bit comfortable. The main thing is to be in time and to be well prepared. It is better to prepare with teachers to know the very particular requirements for the paintings in academy. And then if you pass this exam, for me, I was on the lower level of like this point when you can go further, one mark lower, and I won't.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I was so happy about it because it was my first attempt and I didn't know much about the academy. I wasn't, that time I wasn't, how to say, attending different courses of preparation and so on. I just came and tried. This was my first thought, just try it, if it will work, perfect. And I go through it. And then they have the longest one with live models. So it's nude figure drawing and portraits in drawing and in painting, like nude figure in drawing and in painting, and the same with portraits. And this exam takes more time, like I don't actually remember, maybe a week or more.
Wow.
To complete. Yeah, but the sizes, like for composition for the first exam, it's like 50 maybe to 60 or 40 to 60, this kind
Centimeters?
of size. Yes, and for the figure, for the portraits, it's something around 40, 50, like this size. And of course, all the students are basically somehow prepared for it. Because
so how many students are taking an exam at once?
Like if this is your first attempt, for me it was good that I had quite high level in different, in other disciplines, in literature and Russian language, and so you have to paint, to draw, and also other disciplines. How do you call it?
I'm not sure. Other
common disciplines. I don't know, like literature, Russian or something.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
So wait, how are other disciplines relevant to this education?
Absolutely equal. So they will just summarize all the marks, and if you have enough total mark, you will go
Wait, I'm
through.
confused. So when
Yeah,
you,
because maybe because I'm really bad in explaining
no, it's
English.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
So you said you had other disciplines like literature and so on, but that's not part
yeah,
of the exam, is it?
it's partly true. It
How?
can be a part of exam.
How?
Yeah, because in Russia, when you finish school, you have to, you can pass these exams in school. Just it's
Not at the
ordinary
Repin, at your
system.
university. You're talking about at the university.
Yeah, no, but after school, um, you will have these exams in literature, for example, and in Russian language, and different. If you are preparing for different types of universities, for example, for some universities you will have math exams. For some, for artists, for actors, it will be something like Russian language and literature or history.
Okay.
So
But
yeah,
you're going
after
to an
school,
art school, right? So you're
yeah,
trying to get
but
into Repin
yeah,
Academy. So
it's like
how did those other
last
disciplines fit in?
yeah it I was in ordinary school, and after school, I attended art school.
Oh, you're doing it at the same time.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we do have like these types of schools in Russia. Uh, in St. Petersburg, there is one very famous where they prepare for the academy, where people are studying like in normal school, but they also dedicated to arts, and they are very closely connected with the academy.
So Repin, just to be clear, does Repin care about other disciplines, or is Repin simply interested in your drawing and painting skills?
Yeah, it means a lot because all the marks are summarized all together. And if you, for example, have high marks in literature and
Yeah.
Russian language, it is absolutely the same as if you was very good on your drawing exams.
Wait a minute. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're saying when you're applying to Repin, you have to get a total score among many
Yeah,
disciplines.
exactly.
So you're taking a portrait, you're doing an exam for a couple weeks where you paint a portrait and figure. That's
Yeah,
one score. Then you do another
yeah,
exam for 6 days that is multi-figure composition. That's another score. And then they also add in your other disciplines like literature and Russian and so on.
yeah.
And then they sum
And
up all those scores, and if you have enough points, you can get into the Repin Academy.
exactly,
Why do they
exactly.
care
And
about language and stuff?
it's like educational system in Russia. To enter the university, you have to pass these exams. Usually, people pass them right after school.
Wow.
So you have to choose anything like you have directions, something like technical disciplines. I don't know, like
Like
physics,
engineering or
maths.
something? Yeah.
Yeah. If you are about when you are finishing school, you have to choose university usually,
So
because
you
in
can't go directly at 18 years old. It's impossible to go directly to the Repin Academy. You have to do university first.
no, you can pass these exams right after school and try to enter the academy, but I think it is useless because usually right after school you are not prepared enough. The exception is that special schools like in St. Petersburg that are preparing students particularly for the academy from
No kidding.
from 10
Dang,
years old, for
Russia
example.
really takes this seriously.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Yeah, I said earlier in passing that Americans don't care about art. And what I mean by that is as a child in America, parents will put their
It's up
kids
to you, right?
no. Well, parents will encourage their kids to learn the violin, learn the piano from like 3 years old. They'll have them in soccer and basketball and football from the time they're 3 years old. They'll have them in dance from the time they're 3 years old. They'll have them doing everything but art. And
Right.
if they have them doing art, it's just like expressing yourself. They'll have them making noodle
Mm,
necklaces and gluing paper together, and like they don't
mm,
take it seriously in America. And then even in the universities, they don't take the academics of art seriously. You have to go to an atelier, which is a private run school like my own, and and it's not accredited by the federal government. So it's not
yeah.
supported by the federal government. So yeah, in Russia, it seems totally different. Like they really take the arts,
Yeah,
the
and
visual
the
arts
attitude
seriously.
is also very demanding
Man, no wonder there's
because,
so many great Russian artists.
yeah,
There are
maybe,
so
maybe
many.
because
That's amazing. What is the population of Russia? I should probably look this. Do you know
no,
the
no, that
population?
not that big, I suppose.
But you're not sure? I'm just curious because you guys are producing so many artists.
Yeah, I think the scale, like the size of the country is very big, but the amount of population is,
144 million. So you're less than half the size of the United States. I wonder, it'd be interesting to see how many classically trained artists you guys had per capita. I don't even know how to look that up. But all I know is I'm looking on Instagram and man, the Russians are really owning it. So
yeah,
it's wild.
we take it seriously.
Yeah, yeah. So when you got there, you said, I'm sure you're just being humble, but you said you were the worst one there. Uh, what did that do to your confidence? It doesn't seem like you are short of confidence. It seems like you're pretty determined.
I just have to take a minute to thank each one of my generous patrons for your part in keeping this podcast going. I could not continue to do it without you, so thank you so much. If you're not a patron yet, but you love the show and you listen regularly, please consider becoming a patron. It's really easy to do and it doesn't have to break the bank. Just head over to theundrapedartist.com and click on the link Be My Patron on Podbean. And then choose a monthly donation amount that fits your budget. It's that simple.
Thanks. Yeah, but um, maybe because I knew that objectively, like from the side, I didn't put that much effort in preparation as other people. And for me, it was a blessing that I entered the academy and I was able to study here. And
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I didn't really understand the how much it was demanding, how serious was the attitude of teachers, of
Mm-hmm.
professors. I was like someone from the side, someone from the street, like very interested, but not in a context of this system. And this system was very harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is very serious. The environment is very competitive. And I just didn't know all the aspects of education when I entered, but slowly time passed and I started to realize that I have to, how it was. For example, my drawing, I was disappointed about my drawings because I saw that they weren't the same like others, like of students who were preparing properly for the academy, particularly for this type of educational system, for this school of art. And I can't realize why. What is the difference? Why my approach is different from their?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told me. The information wasn't like on the table.
Mm-hmm.
All the teachers from the very initial stage, it's like they just are waiting for something from you. And the academy looks more like the institutions of critics, and they can criticize your work and say what is good and what is bad from their opinion. There are only a few teachers. They will try to explain you something from the very beginning. Usually they are expecting people who are well prepared and who are already in context. And it's like maybe some kind of bullying, people who are not of their circle. So it was a bit difficult for me to figure out what is the specific of the education.
Okay, so let me restate that. So what you're saying is when you go to the Repin Academy, they don't have teachers per se. They have some teachers, but in general, they don't train you from the ground up. They expect you to already be good.
Yeah.
And if you're not already good, they expect you to figure out why on your own by comparing to other students.
They can give you general explanations, like, didn't you know that the light should be separated from shadow? And that's it.
Really?
Nobody will like sitting with you and explaining, oh, you know, it's historically like
right.
Artists do like this because it looks amazing and beautiful and you should do it the same this way. No, that's not the approach. They are demanding. And for example, I took my drawings after classes to home, and I tried to get closer to my classmates, to the academic drawings, and I couldn't realize why all my efforts are useless, and I was just crying in night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I was disappointed by my drawings. But things have changed on the second year of education because I...
Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Oh, now I can hear you. Go ahead. So back up a little bit. Things change on the second year of education is where you cut off.
Yeah, because I was just lucky with my teacher who was really interested in me and he believed in me. And he put a lot of effort to explain me everything, to teach me properly.
Okay.
It wasn't like his responsibility, but it should be, but not in the academy. But he put this effort to help me. And it was a game changer for me.
Wow. That's wild. I had no idea. So do you by any chance cross paths with Ivan Loganov?
He was, I was younger, or I don't know, maybe he was finishing the education when I entered the academy, when I was on the first year.
Oh, okay. So you didn't cross paths.
So almost, not in the academy, but we met in China when he worked on masterclass in Nanjing, and I was working in the same place.
Okay. So you went to the same school in St.
nice
Petersburg.
guy.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But then you didn't meet him until you were in China.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's actually not surprising. Half the people in Utah, I don't see them until we go to the Portrait Society all the way across the country. So I get that. But it's okay. The reason I'm asking is because he's one of the greats that came out of Repin, as far as I can tell. I mean, I haven't seen all the students, but I'm assuming he's one of the successful ones. And
yeah, I totally agree.
You do? Okay. And I just wonder, I guess I'm just kind of confused as to how they're producing so many exceptional draftsmen and painters when they don't necessarily have a, like, what's the word? They don't have a strict curriculum. It sounds like it sounds more like you're just sort of find your way, and then they critique you every now and then. And And
Yeah, it's up to you. You can pass the lessons if you want. Nobody will care about you too much, but it's all stands on the. I do believe that if you're an artist, you have that feeling that you want to produce something good. You want to produce something beautiful. You want to somehow, even if you can say that it's not for people, for viewers, you would like to be appreciated or something like this. And when you are totally criticized, if one of the respectful professors will say that you are miserable, you're not real artist.
that's
you have no
they talk to you like
taste.
that?
No, I experienced different bullying in the academy, but
Wow.
it was
Man.
it was something from educational system, not something personal. You know, it was clear that they are trying to push us to get the result.
Yeah.
In that not very honest way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that surprised. I had a teacher like that too, who would completely insult students. I mean, and obliterate their self-esteems. But it's rare. So, but
Yeah.
it's rare here. I mean, I only had one teacher like that. I think most were just sort of indifferent to whether you were doing well or not. They gave you a grade, and they knew they'd never see you again after the class was over or after the semester was over. So they were somewhat indifferent. But I think it's great though. I mean, freak, if you're gonna be an artist, you better get a thick skin. So
Yeah,
I think it's not such a
you
bad
have
thing.
to have. Yeah, and you said that they can just forget after the lesson, but I also experienced very often while studying at the academy that teachers were too much dedicated to students. With me, it was the same, that they could text you, ask something after the lesson. In the very late evening, they can check something like, have you done this? Did you draw this? And that's a bit unhealthy.
Yeah. That's what you're saying. That's what they do there.
Yeah, in the academy.
Really? So they could call you in the middle of the night and say, "Are you drawing right now?"
Almost, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, especially if you are on your diploma year. So we have like 6 years of education.
Mm-hmm.
From first year to 5th year, you working with students, with teachers in studios, with live models. And then the last year is dedicated to your diploma work.
Mm-hmm.
You are moving to another studio with maybe your 3 or 4 classmates, and you are working in this studio alone on your diploma works for 1 year.
Okay.
And professor can come from time to time, maybe 1 time a week, to check how it is going. And it is the field where sometimes they can't control enough, so they can be more on the phone, like, hey, are you in the studio, or something else, any questions. It's okay for us.
Wow, that's wild. So this is a little bit of a tangent, but how is this paid for? How do students pay for their education, or is it provided?
We have 45 places supported by the government, like 100% cover. You don't have to pay anything. You will even get how do we call it? You will be paid
Financial aid, or
by the university, but it's not that huge. just
Is
mm,
that just sort of a
a
stipend
small
to help you
bonus.
with food and stuff, or?
No, not that much. Like
Oh,
it's really only to coffee.
okay.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay for education
But
at
that's
all.
probably why it's so competitive.
Yeah, yeah. And you have only 45 places each
Hmm.
year, for example, for one faculty of oil painting. And if you are not in these 45, then they also have a few paid places. You can pay for education. There is also a competition, and that's it. If you don't want to pay, you will try it another year. That's
Hmm.
why people are trying twice or more times
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
be
that's wild.
paid by the government.
What about if you're American? Can an American go to Repin Academy?
Foreigners can. Uh, I don't know if they have any restrictions.
Okay.
So we had different foreigners and from England, from Turkey, from uh, India, and I
I've
think a
noticed a
lot of
bunch of Asians going there too. Aren't there people from
a lot of yeah. Most of all, we have Chinese students. A lot of Chinese students,
Yeah.
like for 15 people group, uh, 5 of them will be Chinese students.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
well, I
it
mean, it makes
also,
sense. It's the next country over, but
yeah, and it helps to connect with China, and they
hmm.
like to buy works, student works. They can invite you to come and teach or anything. They now have a lot of stuff here in China,
Hmm.
exhibitions, and they're really trying to develop it.
Okay, so let me summarize. Forgive me if I'm slow. I'm balancing a lot of stuff here with all the equipment and talking to you, but
No, it's
so you went
can
to school
do
as
it
a
better.
child from 11 to what, like 18 or something?
Yeah,
Okay, and
exactly.
then from there you went to basically a university for 4 years to learn things,
Yeah,
to learn other disciplines.
you can go to university or college, special college,
Right, but you
even if
specifically, you went to another school for 4 years where you learned other disciplines.
I went to after school and after art school, I went to university to
Okay,
study to be a teacher
to be a
in arts.
teacher. You did that for
Yeah,
4 years. So at
I
this,
I stayed for 2 years and then I tried to enter the academy and I went to academy.
okay, so 2 years of that.
Mm.
So you were what, what were you, about 20 years old at that point?
Yeah, 2021, I guess.
Okay, so from 11 to 21, you were already studying art for 10 years.
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's wild. Okay, and then at 21, you show up at Repin. You do 6 years there,
Yeah.
and then now you've had a little time off, and you plan on going back to Repin to do more
Yeah.
education. So
Exactly.
you're up to 16 years of education, and you're going back for more.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope all of my students listen to this podcast. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to attend my school and I say, it could take you 4 or 5 years to finish, or 4 or 5 years. Are you
No,
kidding
it's
me? I can't devote, I can do it faster than that. I'm like, oh, well, no one does, but I mean, very few people do, but you can try, they're like 4 or 5 years to learn to
you,
be an artist. Their mind is blown. And you're telling me you did 16 and you're going back.
but if you have a good mentor, I think it can be done
It can be
faster.
done. But my point is, people expect a lot, right? Often in
Yeah.
education in art, it's not easy to do, and you can continue to
Yeah.
learn forever. There's so much to learn.
Yeah. And if you will go from very basic
Yeah,
to the more complicated things, because a lot of people want to achieve complicated things first
right.
without any boring stuff.
Hmm.
But if you are going this way, it can be done very properly.
Yeah.
It can be done on a very high level of understanding the form, the volume, and everything.
Right. Right.
So it makes sense. Absolutely.
What do you hope to gain when you go back that you don't already have? What is it you're looking for?
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm missing, and I want to develop and to grow more. And I hopefully know exactly how this place where I'm going to be will help me
What do you
to
mean this
achieve.
place? I thought you were going back to Repin.
Yeah, so I will be an intern in
Okay.
Repin Academy, but it's also a bit complicated system. It's like we have Repin Institute in St. Petersburg, and we have Russian Academy of Arts. It's an organization that helps artists and solve different things. Like if you want to be a professor or if you have any medals, it's like all from the Russian Academy of Arts that is based in Moscow. And this organization has its own, how to say, well, they have special studios where you can be intern for 3 years. And after that, you can, they give you this space for development. That's it. You will have the special degree or something, I don't know. Maybe they can give you a medal for special achievements. That's it.
What do you find different about going to that space? And it sounds like just working by yourself and developing yourself and just renting a space somewhere or working out of your apartment. What's the difference?
Yeah, because of the environment. First of all the studios have studios in Moscow. They have studio in St. Petersburg, and studio in St. Petersburg is located in Repin Academy.
Okay.
So it's like a bit two different organization. And they have also its professor. Each studio has its professor.
Okay.
And professor will come once a week to check your work, to give you critiques. And also you are surrounded by other artists who are also in this internship, how to say?
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you are watching each other works, and you are in this environment. You
Okay.
can compare each other, and you can see how they are growing, and you are also, when you are in your own studio, you have to be very disciplined, very
Motivated.
yeah, and you have to criticize yourself well to achieve the exact level.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense now. I mean, when you add the critiques from a professor once a week and the competition from fellow really good students, yeah, that's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, it will be, I know it will be difficult and demanding, but I know that it will bring me new skills and deeper level of understanding arts. And maybe I will do a few more series of works on different topics, explore something new for myself, and it will, of course, bring its fruits of labor.
Yeah. So you said you know exactly what you need to learn, but I don't think you said what that is. Do you see specific holes in your work that need to be repaired, or is it just that you feel like you need inspiration from other students and professors?
No, I would like to work now more with series of works, with more deeply deep exploring of some topics, some subjects which you can express in a series of works on a high level for exhibitions or these institutions of professional artists. Like the community will also criticize you and will check your work. So it's for professional community, and I want to do it on a certain level. And I think this place will help me to explore it deeply and work on something that I haven't been working before. Maybe only while I was on Diploma. I was working on big scale painting with multi-figure painting, and it was quite tough. After that, I was primarily working on portraits, but I was the attitude was quite serious too. But I want to switch to different another topic.
So is it fair to say that what you're after is working on more narrative work?
Maybe more conceptual.
Yeah, okay. Right.
And
so you want to move away from simple portraits and figures to something that speaks.
Yeah, in general, I want to develop as artist, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
Say
I was just wondering if there was a very specific thing that you saw in your work, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like you just want to move to the next level. You want to do more serious work is what it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, I think it will help me be in context, like to choose the right topic, to find the way to dedicate yourself to something that how to say, all the words are left me.
That's okay. That brings up another question. How did you learn English? Because not all Russians know English, right?
I haven't been practiced for maybe 6 months.
You're doing great. I understand everything you're saying.
Yeah, no, because I was learning since my childhood. My mother helped me a lot. She was an English teacher, and she pushed me to learn language when I was at school, and I was very. I tried to avoid it in all the ways. I tried to escape, but she put all her energy to teach me, and we were just like doing it a few times a week also.
It's unbelievable. That's great. Well, it's paying off. At least you can talk to podcasters in the United States.
I'm trying to.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's been a few Russians I've reached out to that don't know English, so it's been a challenge. I have to figure out a way to get translators and stuff. What's that?
Because I saw a few of your episodes here, and I saw an episode with Tanya Reveals and Ivan also, and they did it absolutely great. So
they did great. No, the ones that don't know English, I didn't interview. I just want to interview them, but they don't know English, so I can't. Yeah. And I actually tried to interview one with a translator, but I couldn't get the translation. It was so bad. Even with AI, I tried to get the translation so I could do it in text, and it was not working. So I need some help with that. But so I'm grateful that you know English so we can have this conversation. This is great.
Yeah, I can imagine how wonderful they could explain very different and difficult topics in Russian.
I know it's really a disadvantage to you, but I think
you're doing
inspiring. Great. You know what? Your work speaks to your intelligence, so don't even worry about it. It's obvious that you're a very intelligent person.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts in my head, but yeah, it's 10% you can get it.
Yeah. So as you're talking, I've been flipping through your Instagram off to the right, so people can kind of see what it is you do. And man, it is just next level. Do you have a website?
No, I didn't do it.
Okay, it does. I don't know. I don't
I
know if
didn't
anyone even
manage
looks at them
to.
anymore, to be honest. So it's probably
I
fine.
have to create one.
So this is the one that I saw that I was just like enamored with, as you know, because I sent you a message asking you if it was for sale. It is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous
Thanks.
work. Very
Yeah, this
inspiring.
one actually, when I was working on the face, uh, you know, this stage of work
Yeah.
when you are starting, everything is amazing. You are so inspired and you start to work on blanket canvas and
Mm-hmm.
brush strokes are fresh and energetic, everything is fine. Then you have to develop it. And I hate this middle stage,
Mm-hmm.
like after the energetic start and before the complete work, when everything you are in general satisfied with the result. And the middle stage for me is quite disappointing because it's usually like a fight for me. I have to try my best to save the freshness of the start and to achieve this level of detailization I want, and not to overdo it, because it
Mm-hmm.
is very easy to lose everything while you are trying to bring more detailization.
Mm-hmm.
Me as an artist who like work in alla prima, it's on the point where I can feel some pain sometimes.
So this is done in alla prima?
I've started, maybe some places were just left like this from initial stage, but on the face,
Mm-hmm.
I worked till the end.
So you did several layers on the face.
Yeah.
Okay. That's because I was going to say it doesn't look alla prima to me. But I personally love the buildup of paint. I think it adds to a painting when you see lots of buildup. Maybe that's what I'm drawn to in this one. It's remarkable. And then the drawings too. This is the thing about you guys in Russia. It's just like your drawings are so energetic and
Yeah,
fluid.
that's funny about all these drawings from master classes in China, because uh, it started this summer when I met the guy with whom we are working now in China.
Mm-hmm.
I come to host master classes, workshops with him, and it's interesting because he pushes me to give 1 or 2 master classes per day in a row for 1 month. And first I was like a bit terrified by the score, the tense,
Mm-hmm.
but I tried, and I figured out that it was like a challenge month for myself to produce one academic drawing in a day. And after that, I figured out that it contributed a lot to my growth, particularly in this discipline. So me, it was it's like still learning something.
Yeah. What are you drawing on? Are you drawing on something stretched?
Yeah, it's a paper stretched on wooden frame.
What's the advantage of that? Stretched paper.
It doesn't move.
Okay. And then are you like staining it with coffee or something?
Yeah, you can tint it with something with coffee plus ink or tea, anything will do.
Okay.
The main is to achieve this color, not too bright, not
Mm-hmm.
too neutral, more neutral color.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the model in the background, and the light is very, very soft. And there's
Yeah,
also a
maybe,
secondary light
mm,
source on
yeah,
the,
maybe because the photo was taken after the break,
oh, so everything
so
was
it
taken down?
can change. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. I thought maybe
but
you were making up the lighting or something.
also usually I try to simplify the task when I work.
Okay.
If I have difficult situation, difficult lighting, I will a bit simplified, find something, the main, uh, the main accent, the main uh, light and shadow termination line,
Mm-hmm.
and emphasize it.
Which you did up here
If,
by the cheekbone.
yeah, not only cheekbone. For example, all this line from the forehead to the chin.
Yeah, all
Uh,
this, you mean?
yeah, I decided this one to be the main one, and all everything after it a bit lighter and unified.
So you toned down or simplified all the lights.
Maybe because of the quality of photo, but I worked with HEIN to make the right tone.
Okay.
And usually I start from this light and shadow line.
Maybe there's a better, oh man, that's great.
Yeah, and I had an opportunity to explore different techniques.
Yeah, these look very
Everyday
different.
life models, and
And these are all done in a day?
yes, they are all like 2.5 hours drawings.
And this Conte crayon or pastel or what?
It's sangin,
Okay.
you know, red chalk.
God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, they are doing like some promo, making posters, and I'm happy that all this stuff is happening while I'm here in Russia doing my job in the studio. And the guy who I work with, he tries to promote, to prepare different things. I'm lucky with that.
Yeah, so he chose yours for that. Yeah, so this one is the same girl? No?
No, it's
Different
this
girl?
one. This one I can show you. On the bottom, there is a painting
On the
a
bottom. You
bit
mean scroll down?
of this one in the middle.
Here?
Girl in white skirt, in black t-shirt, oil painting. In the middle, in the middle
Black
upper row.
shirt.
Yeah,
Here?
here
Here?
it
Here?
is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is the same one. And this is a painting. The first one I made this size a portrait in a format of workshop. Like I was limited in time, and all the work in China is usually translated online to people,
Mm-hmm.
and you are always under this pressure. And I decided to take a bigger one, and this was the painting.
How big was it?
Turned out, I guess 120 to 80 centimeters.
120 centimeters to 80? So that's
Yeah.
what, like 50 inches? So that's about life size? Is that life size?
Yeah, almost.
No joke. Is that one day?
I guess it was like 2 days, but maybe one session of 3-4 hours. But first of all, when I started, it was designed like it will be a short masterclass in a few hours online, and then they just let me continue it the next day, and I did it in a couple of days.
That necklace is amazing. The way you
Thank
simplified that,
you.
it's absolutely
It
amazing.
was one of the things that inspired me to create something
Mm-hmm.
in this style.
And this is Is this all a Prima as well?
Yeah.
God, that's
I don't know,
incredible.
maybe I was changing only her hands on the second day. Mostly it was done in one session.
Okay, man.
Yeah, there are a lot of master classes in China.
Okay,
My
so here is, oh, this is pastel. I didn't realize you did
Yeah,
pastel too.
yeah, I feel very comfortable in pastel.
You do.
Yeah. Maybe because I've started work with this medium before the academy. When I was studying at art school, I just tried. It is easy to buy. Nobody taught us to work with oil paints, but we have in excess pastels.
I've been dying to try pastels, and I've never ever done it, but they're just so beautiful. The richness and depth of color.
You haven't tried.
No, I've never tried it.
Why?
I don't know. I even
Just buy it.
I even have some. You believe that? I've had this beautiful set of pastels for like 10 years, and it just
Wow.
sits in a drawer. I got it. I won it for some. I think it was.
It's easy. You are just smudging everything in the
No,
paper.
I honestly, maybe I'm overconfident, but I think I would take to it. It just seems like painting. It doesn't seem that much different than painting.
Yeah, maybe you just have to find the right subject.
Yeah.
Like something that you can see only in pastels.
This episode is brought to you in part by Rosemary Brushes. If you're one of my listeners who's a professional artist, you're already using Rosemary brushes. But for the rest of you, come on. Take your work a little more seriously. Stop buying the other brands. It's just not worth it. Every now and then you may get lucky and buy a good brush from another brand, but use the brand that professionals like myself are using. Go to rosemaryandco.com, link in the description or the show notes, and get yourself some quality brushes before your next painting.
Yeah, I need to just bite the bullet and go out and buy a piece of paper and do it. But
I like the pastels. If I would, I could work more with pastels if it won't be so difficult to save it.
well, that's
Because
part of the reason I haven't done it. You just hit it on the head.
Yeah.
Two reasons I haven't done it. One is because I know that I love oil painting, and I'm sure I would enjoy pastels, but I could probably sell the oil painting easier.
Sure.
Right? So if I love them both and one can sell, then I'm going to do the one that can sell. And the other reason why is because it's so fugitive. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, how do you? They're so fragile. You got to worry about them blowing away. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think I can't even ship it somewhere. I don't know how.
yeah, that's the other reason. So one of these days I got to try it though, because they're just gorgeous. And yeah, you clearly know what you're doing.
You have to have enough space to keep it under the glass.
Yeah, that
Each
too.
work.
Yeah, that too. Oh my gosh, look at these. They're so incredible.
This one is also 4 hours.
4 hours on that whole thing?
Yeah, I made it. I was like, maybe that day I wasn't like painting for a while, and I was like, I came to my studio, and the thought was I want to exercise a bit to be in the right state of mood, like to paint. And I decided to make this piece in 4 hours.
I don't think I could do the head in 4 hours. That's incredible.
Yeah, I have a video.
Jeez, you are fast. That is remarkable. I want to see some close-ups of these though, to see how finished they are. Where do I?
Maybe I should post more.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
It's difficult for me to make right photos of the works.
There's another pastel.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. And so you can't even ship those. So if I wanted to buy a pastel from you, you wouldn't even be able to ship it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it has to be shipped in a frame, and the most dangerous thing for me is like how to ship it in a frame. I can't ship it under the glass because it is damageable.
What about
So
like
maybe
cutting?
plastic.
Yeah, or like foam core. You know what foam core is?
Yeah,
What about cutting a window out of foam core and then stacking several layers over top to protect it?
yeah. Maybe something like this will
Hmm. Because
work.
that is
No,
so
of
beautiful.
course, it's in general it's possible, but I've never tried.
God, do you know the size on this one?
Uh, it was not that big, maybe like 50 to 40, I guess.
Jeez. That is gorgeous. Do you still have that one, that green one?
I have to check.
Man. So that brings up
Not
another
sure.
question. How has it gone? How much of a career have you developed from this? I mean, you're clearly still after education, but you said you have to check if you still have it, so you must be selling works.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit about
actually,
that.
I sold a lot of works, and one of one of the gap in my career, or I don't know how to explain that I don't have enough works in my own collection. Like I can't participate or I can make for myself personal exhibition, solo show, or something like this, or I can't exhibit a group of my works. So
Because you keep
because
selling
I
them.
don't have enough. Yeah, I have to create like my portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Have to create more works to represent myself better, and all this student stuff. It with time I sell it. The works have less and less works, and in some point, or I'm not satisfied with some of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're all that way.
want to make better, and
Hmm.
it's only past 2 years after graduation, but I feel that I try to develop, and it is common to say in the academy that your diploma work is your highest point. You are in your best shape. You won't do anything better than your diploma work in the academy. But for me, it's the wrong orienteer, the wrong way of thinking.
Yeah,
And then,
you got a whole life ahead of you. You better do something better than your diploma work.
yeah.
That would be sad. I mean,
And a lot of works from workshops are in China now, so I don't have that much.
oh, gotcha. Gotcha. So tell me about this. Is this your diploma work right here?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's one thing
So
that separates the Russians too, is that you guys are doing multi-figure in school. No one does that here.
yeah, we're crazy.
Yeah, that's remarkable. Tell me about how you put this together. I mean, are you allowed to use photo reference there, or does everything have to
Yeah,
be from
sure.
life?
It's not a problem.
Okay.
If you are doing it right, if you know how to use it.
Okay.
It's,
And did you implement that with this work?
so what did I do? I set up models. I made costumes. I bought something for my diploma work, something I sewed, and I made specially for this work photos, references, some pieces I made from life, and then I used this preparation works to work on the bigger one.
So you did studies from life
Yeah,
and then worked
and
on the bigger one from the studies.
yeah, and my year for the diploma work, it was like first. So I had like from from September to June. Well, until March, I was working on studies, and then for 3 months I was working on this one.
Now, are
My
these studies of individual faces? Are they composition studies, or what do they look
yeah,
like?
both.
Both?
First of all, you are starting from the small ones, doing composition like your composed tonal masses,
Mm-hmm.
tonal color stains. Sorry.
That's okay.
And then when it is accepted, when you have the final one, you can start working on particular faces and gestures, postures. And I was working on like people, on emotions and so on. But actually, in the final piece, you are adding some changes and anyway.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure, you said that you can use photography to put these together, but did you implement any in this painting?
For example, this group, what you're...
In the front?
Yeah, I took 2 people and I set them in this pose with the correct lighting and make a picture, and then I was working on
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I
For
mean, I
some,
wondered that because these poses are obviously tricky to hold for a long time.
yeah, for some faces it was like I was just using maybe more of my imagination. If I didn't have the right face from my friends, from my circle, from people who I can use for as the models, I just added something from me.
So it's a mix of everything. It's a mix of
Yeah.
working from life, working from imagination, working from photos.
Yeah, it have to be. No one has to have questions like, I don't believe in it.
Right. You want it
Has
to be
to be.
convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. How did you do with it? Did you get a good grade or good, was it, did they
Yeah,
approve?
I was highly marked, and my defense in general went well. The only one strange thing was with we have basically the group of professors on the diploma defense. Some of the professors are from St. Petersburg, from the Repin Academy, and some from Moscow. And so I had an issue with one Moscow professor. Everything went well, and when my defense was coming to the end, he just said that I can't resist anymore. I just have to say, and he started his speech for 30 minutes trying to put down my work.
Ooh, wow. That's harsh.
And he was very, very energetic. It is an old professor, and he was just so, I don't know, something touched him in my work.
In a bad way?
Yeah, and the main reason was like the topic, the subject, the nuns. It is his topic. He also work with this subject, and he was like, I know how to do it in the right way. You're doing it wrong. I know how to paint them better. And it was confusing right after the graduation. I was afraid that maybe I did bad work, and I was afraid that I will be ashamed for my work. But time passes and I realized that it's not about work. I didn't get any clear critique on my work. And I now realize that it was something strange, and that he was excuse, I would say, like the next day he was saying sorry to my professors, not to me, to my professors, that he was too emotional. And, you know, if the work is bad, people usually just lower the grade. Nobody spent so much time and energy to put down bad work. They just lower the grade, everyone agree, and they move on.
Mm.
Something,
So you really
something
struck a
touched.
chord with this guy. Well, it's big of him to apologize. I mean, he probably should have apologized to you, but at least he apologized to somebody.
You know, in Russia, it's okay.
Yeah.
Among artists to
Yeah.
criticize, to demand high level of everything, of how you formally did it, how you paint it. The subject has to be deep and very important. You can't just paint in something not serious,
Mm-hmm.
not enough.
Yeah, I'm curious what it was specifically that you did wrong. He says he knows how to paint them.
You know, one of the oldest and respectful professors in our academy said that he is jealous. No
I was going to
comments.
say that. I was wondering, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, I had a similar experience when I was in college.
Really?
Oh yeah, I got called out. There was a whole class of works against the wall, and there was this professor in college that everyone worshipped, but I didn't because I didn't think he was a great painter. And to at the risk of sounding arrogant, this is a university. It's not like the Repin. I wouldn't have been in this position at the Repin. There's no question in my mind. But at this university, I was hands down the most advanced student. There was no comparison. But every other student in the room worshipped this teacher, and all of their works looked just like the teacher. My works looked like somebody else
Yes.
yeah, I was looking at David LaFell at the time. I was looking at John Singer Sargent and various other artists. And he went to all the artists and complimented them one after the other. And then he got to mine. Mine was last. And he said, "You know what your problem is? You don't know who you are. You got to find yourself." He says, "You're just knocking off another artist." And I was like, "Knocking off another artist? Everyone's knocking you off, man." But I didn't say that, but yeah. So I had a similar experience when I was in college.
It's what they usually say, that you have to find your style. But I do believe everybody has its own style, just organically, naturally.
Yeah.
And
It's like
all
your
that you have
handwriting.
to do, yeah, it's if you will try to work on model from life,
Mm-hmm.
take 10 people, everybody will draw it in their own way. It won't be exactly the same picture. And everybody has its own view or own, but you just have to let yourself to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
to depict, to express what you want by yourself. And that's it. And so I don't believe in these talks about, oh, you don't have to study from this artist, you have to find your style and blah, blah, blah. I think if you feel in this point that you have to study something from great masters of the past, why not?
Oh, you got to learn somewhere, and then eventually you shed it and you become yourself. But he was right. I was looking at these artists because I couldn't find what I wanted in his class, and he sensed that. But that brings up another point, though. This whole idea of style. I can see subtle differences between many of you who come out of the Repin, but there is a distinct look to Russian art. And
it's interesting how it looks from the side, because for me it's difficult to judge.
Really? Yeah, because you're in it. You're like in the middle of it. But from us looking in, I feel like I could pick out. I mean, well, I don't know if I read your name or not, but I saw your work right away and it looked Russian. And what is it? and I hope you don't take that the wrong way. I think your work stands alone. I don't think you need to so-called find your style, but there is something that connects many Russian painters. And I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that. Maybe not, because you said you couldn't really see it from the inside.
Yeah, so for me, it's like what my eyes get used to, right? I grow up in this environment, and for me, it's like Western art or Asian art is a bit, Asian not that much. Western art is a bit different from our tradition.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we are different, because maybe because of the influence of Soviet art. They were something mix of impressionism and realistic academic tradition.
Yeah,
but
that's probably
not,
it. That's probably it.
Not pure academic tradition in its initial look, in how it looked when the academy appeared, but not lost at all, not lost completely.
No, but you guys owned Impressionism too. I mean, there were only two regions worth noting in Impressionism, and that's France and Russia.
Oh, really?
That's what I think. I mean, yeah, there were American Impressionists and so on, but when I think of Impressionism, I think of either French Impressionism or Russian Impressionism. I don't really think of anything else. Maybe the viewers would have to, add to that, maybe if they think of something else. But so you guys have a strong academic background, but you also have a strong Impressionist background. So I could see how those two things would inform contemporary work.
Yeah, a lot of different influences affected, I think, a modern academic tradition. We had an influence of great masters like Korovin or Serov, and then huge impact of Soviet artists Mylnikov and Moisenko in the academy. And now all the teachers, almost all the teachers in the academy are the students of Mylnikov. And a lot of Russian artists adore plein air painting. So maybe all these influences somehow shaped us this way. I don't know. In terms of this, it's quite also equal among the academy, because all the teachers now, all the professors, almost, are students of one teacher. So they have, they are connected somehow.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So as we're talking, I'm noticing that on the wall of this figure, next to this figure you're painting on the easel, appears to be all the studies, or many of the studies from your final work. Those are ambitious studies. They're not like sketchbook studies. These are ambitious studies. These are rather large.
Yeah. It's like I was working on it for half of a year, so it couldn't be sketches. My professor would kill me.
Right. They expect you to do refined studies.
Yeah, it's common, like every student do it. It's absolutely okay and normal. And
it's amazing. But it looks like it looks like your environment is so run down. Is that the way the school looks? Just sort of old and run down throughout?
Yeah, it's only about Repin Academy. It is the historical building full of different interesting things. I was studying here for 6 years, and I still don't know all the places. It's crazy. It has like lows between lows, like floors, like first low, second low, and they have something
What's a
in between.
low?
How do you call it? first floor, second floor,
Levels?
levels in the building.
Okay. So it's okay. So a low is a floor.
Yeah, no, let me check. It's a bit wrong. It's a very easy word. Hilarious that I don't
Well, I have
remember.
no idea any Russian words, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's pointless. Этаж. Yes. Floor, right.
Oh, it is floor. Okay. So there are lots
Yeah,
of
so
floors.
there are floors between floors full of different stuff. For example, they collect paintings of the students, and also
Do they buy them from the students or do they expect
no,
them? So if they
they
want
take it.
one, they just take it.
Yeah, they take it for free, and it's
Well, I mean, your education's free, so it's the least you could do, I
yeah,
suppose, right?
and it's the way of mark the student, like your work is remarkable. We want to take it. It works.
So it's an honor in a way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They
That must
have
be
a lot of
inspiring. So
this.
you're walking from floor to floor on this place, and there are years and years of excellent student work everywhere.
Yeah, they keep it in different places inside the academy. So they have special rooms full of paintings, and
That must
I
be
don't
amazing.
even know all these places where they are located.
Really? So Repin Academy is a rather large place.
Yeah, it's really huge. You have to visit it.
I want to visit. I'm going to visit. Someday I want to because I keep talking to people from there and I'm so curious about it.
Yeah, and you can come anytime. I can help you to get into and make you the small, how do we call it? Excursion.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to take you up on that. So what is next for you now? So, well, I know what's next. You're going back to school to do an internship, right? But
Yeah.
what's your 5-year plan, 10-year plan? You initially studied to be a teacher at university for 2 years. Is that still the plan? Do you want to be a teacher or do you want to
Never
be
was.
a gallery painter? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want, as it is for me the same now. When I was on the first grade in the academy, I just wanted to develop as an artist. And I don't know if it's bad or if it's okay, everything okay with me, but I still want to develop. It's the main aim for me now. And yeah, I want to create my own collection of works. I want to be able to exhibit it, to be able to create solo show. And I'm also now working a lot abroad in China and in Europe, and I want to develop these connections also to continue working and to explore maybe new places like USA. I'm very interested in cooperation with galleries and maybe schools here somehow. It's interesting to me.
Yeah.
To check the school, because I think recently, like for the past decades, USA was on the absolute leader positions by developing art, creating art market, and all the main artists were somehow recognized in USA. So it's a very interesting field for me to explore.
Yeah. Well, you should look into Paul Scott Gallery. I need to get them on here. Paul Scott Gallery in Scottsdale, Arizona. They are.
I didn't hear about it.
You didn't hear about it? Well,
No.
let me see. So, what's his name? Russian names are so hard for me to remember. I'm going to look them up real quick. I was just there because I was teaching a workshop in Scottsdale. Denny's, I think how do you pronounce it? Denis Gorodnichi. How do you pronounce that?
Varnichi.
Okay, let me pull him up real quick. Monitor. This guy. Denis Gorodnichi.
Gorodnichi. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
The screen is not in a high quality, so I can't read it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, this guy, I own 2 of his paintings now. I just bought another one from Paul Scott Gallery, and I don't even know if it's on here.
Paul Scott Gallery. I heard about it.
Yeah, and the thing about the Paul Scott Gallery, is this my painting? Or the one I just bought? This might be it. No, that's not it. Anyway, it sort of looks like that one though. Anyway, this guy's work is amazing. Holy crap.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. But he's now showing with Paul Scott. And the great thing about Paul Scott, I have no affiliation with them, so I'm not trying to sell you on it, but they're such cool, down-to-earth, honest dealers. So if I was in a gallery, they're after Russians and Eastern European and stuff like that mostly, but it's a great space. So something to think about. But anyway,
maybe I've heard about it even when I was studying at the academy.
oh really?
I think they were coming and check students, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
heard about it.
they've got a lot of great artists there, and some Americans, I think, too, but mostly Russian and Eastern European. Anyway,
Interesting how it is widespread and people are interested in Russian art.
because you guys are freaking good. That's why. Holy crap! That's completely obvious why it would be the case. You guys are, geez, knocking it out of the park. I mean, there's so many great Russian painters. Well, this has been fun. It's been great having you on here. I'm really glad I got to know you. But I have one final question for you. If you could give one piece of advice to an aspiring artist that you either had or wish you had, what would it be?
One of the most practical advices I got from very cool artist, contemporary artist in Russia, he said that you have to think about what kind of an artist you would like to be, what kind of an audience you would like to attract by your art, and be more particular in this direction, not to be too widespread to different topics and different styles and different markets. You don't have to participate in everything. Just try to shape yourself a bit more clearly and more particular, and to develop in a more clear way, not to lose on this path.
Yeah. Don't get too distracted
Yeah.
by different things. You know what's interesting about that? I just had a conversation on another podcast about this. It was woodworking is bullshit, of all names. And we were talking about having a diverse set of interests. And one of the things that I think one of the hosts, I think, brought up, his name's Paul, is that once you've established yourself, or in the beginning, when you're trying to make a name for yourself, it makes a lot of sense to have a clear direction, right? And to stay focused on that direction. But then once you're established, at that point, somehow you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? At that point, you can start experimenting with all kinds of stuff because you've built a name for yourself. But I think you're absolutely right. In the beginning, you got to stay focused. You can't be all over the place in the beginning.
And if it's amazing if you are developing in different ways. If you are not, that you are, how to say, degradation.
Degradation? You mean you're like
you are losing your skills and everything.
Oh,
if you are not
totally
developing, you are not staying in the same point, you are really losing it.
That is really good point. So you can only go forward. You can't stay in the same place, because if you're not going forward, you're going backwards.
Yeah, you said it, but much better. Thank you.
Well, English is my first language.
Yeah.
I thought you said it great. Anyway, hey, it's like I said, it's a huge honor. But I can stay online because I want to talk to you about if you have anything available because I really love your work. But so stay online. But thank you for doing this podcast. It's been an honor to meet you. And I am going to come to Russia. I'm going to take you up on that. It might be a couple of years,
Yeah.
but I'm going to take you up on that.
Just message me.
I will. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to the Undraped Artist Podcast. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. And if you could, leave a comment or review. That really helps the channel. Please share the show with your friends, and if you're feeling generous, consider a monthly donation at theundrapedartist.com. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.